You have anything to add, Shay, before I take it away from religion? Because this turned into a very great conversation.
Take it away from religion. I don't want to add to it more.
Okay, definitely understandable. One of the things I mentioned to both of you is a situation that happened in Florida, or with a student who was going to go to Florida University. If I'm not mistaken, from what I saw of the situation, he was a 17-year-old sports athlete. I think it was
like 2 hours ago. I was like, wait, what happened in Florida?
He was a football kid, and he was getting a scholarship to Florida, one of the best football schools in the nation, and he recorded himself singing along to a rap song that had the N-word in it. And he was white, correct. And he said the word, and next thing you know, they took away his whole scholarship. And to tie into the conversation we were having about the government, it's a lot of power to have over someone's life to just simply change how they're going to live the rest of their world. And as a black person, to give my opinion on it before I ask you guys, I agree that if you're not black, don't say the N-word. It should be that simple. But I'm not comfortable with ruining a 17-year-old's life for singing a word that was a part of a song. And again, even as a black person, I hate the argument of, the rapper put it in the song, so why can't they say it? Because I personally feel it's not that hard to not say words. Yeah. But at the same time...
And it doesn't roll off your tongue if you
normally
say it. It won't roll off your tongue.
And it's like...
Ready to get started.
I'm also ready for this one.
Yeah, and it's like, even with me having that opinion and us agreeing with that opinion, like, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. It's a valid argument. He liked the song, and he sung the lyrics in the song. So that's not criminal. He didn't hurt no one. He didn't kill no one. But yeah, he lost his scholarship over a word. So I want to ask both of you guys' opinion on this, and how do you think the situation should have been handled? So as they play rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first, we're going to have a tie. We're going to have Shay go first.
Okay. So, I think it's all about intention. So if you think about the history of the word, it's a discriminatory slur. It is used to identify and single someone out based on their race. And obviously it's centered for a very specific race. And that intent, it's rooted in bad intention. But the word is not used today as it was originally intended to. People who it was originally subjected against, that being black people, have reclaimed the word as their own to use only for them. They are the only ones who can say it, and that's valid. I think that is fine because of how it's been used against them in the past. But I think, the word has been reclaimed, and now it's used as almost a term of endearment. Like, that's my dude. But, not saying dude.
I really thought you were about to say it.
No.
I was like...
But listen.
Yeah, I was...
Well, listen.
This is why you give people the chance to speak instead of saying, like, whoa.
I'm not going to say it, but that kind of leads into my next thing was, the word has not had its original meaning for longer. It's existed with a different meaning longer than it existed with its original. It has been used for something different for longer than it was used as a bad slur. But even that being said, it still can be used as a slur by the people who indoctrinated it in the first place, being white people. That being said, when you live in a country like we do now, where there isn't segregation, like, people are raised and interact with each other in a community forever. If you have communities, let's say that is a majority black, you got a handful of white people in there. Those white people have grown up with the black people, act like the black people, hang out with the black people, live with the black people, eat with the black people. Are they not allowed to talk with the black people? Especially if everyone around them is okay with them saying it. So, like, my dad, I've never met one of his friends that are white. Like, when I was younger, like, a lot of my dad's friends were black. My dad says the N-word. He's a 45-year-old man but he's not out calling people the N-word. He's not using it as a derogatory term. He's saying, that's my dude. That's my friend. Like, all these dudes. Like, he's not saying it, and he's not even saying it about black people 90% of the time. He's saying it because it's a word in his vocabulary that he grew up around black people comfortable to use. And I don't think my dad should be, and maybe it is just because my dad, but I don't think someone should be alienated or criminalized for using something like that with no bad intentions. It's a part of their vocabulary. I have friends who will say it and slip up, but I know that where they were raised, it's different. It's so different. And if you are coming from a place of all white people, you can't understand that. You've never heard it used in the way that the community that's reclaimed it actively uses it. And if you are a part of that community, whether you're black or not, I feel like it shouldn't, I mean, I don't think white people should regularly say it. I'm not advocating for that. I don't think it's right that my dad does, and I've tried to talk to him, but this is his defense. I'm 40 years old, not until, he's 43. Until he was 41, no one ever told him to not say it. Ever. Not the black people he was saying it around, not the people he was saying it to, in front of, with, like, no one was saying that to him until suddenly our generation, who's old enough to say that it's a problem, makes it a problem. But all the people his age don't see it like that. So I think it is a generational thing. I think it's about intention. I think it's about different, like, the different backgrounds people come from, because I don't think someone who's just saying it in a recreational way, like with a song or with their friends, that's caught saying it when it's been fine up till then in their community with the people that are supposedly supposed to be offended by it. And then suddenly an outside perspective says, oh, you can't say that. And it's a touchy situation.
Anna?
So, when you said from the beginning, when we were talking about like religion in general, when you get educated on something and then you continuously, like, you know it's wrong, but you're still believing in it.
That's like with us with the sexism argument, as women saying that. But like my dad's argument is like, me and all my black friends are fine with me saying it, and then his black friends will be like, I'm fine with him saying it.
Yeah, but true. But Alejandro, he
Right.
grew up with a bunch of people and women that said it, so he thought that it was fine. And then we sat there and told him, don't say that because we don't like it, right?
Right.
So
and I think if my dad were in front of someone who was black and heard him say that and then told him not to, he would respect that.
Right.
But he's always been around black people and carries himself in a way that, like, is respectful about it. He's never using it as a derogatory term in an offensive way. He uses it as a term of endearment, as a camaraderie. And it's always been seen and perceived that way. So he continues to say it. He's not saying it with any ill intention. So even when I told him, like, hey, some people see this as bad, he goes, the people I'm around don't.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason that I believe that school took away his scholarship is because if they didn't, okay, what they're saying is that it's okay. So that's, if you really want to use it that way, it's like, he's
and
the
I
person.
kind of do think it was okay for him to sing along to the song. I don't think he was out there calling people the N-word. I don't think he was wishing death upon anyone.
If you are educated on the history of the word, and you know that you're part of the group that made the word in a negative way. No, if he wasn't educated, that makes sense. But by the time you get to be 17 years old, you should be educated. Maybe in the generation above us, it doesn't make as much sense because the education was not there at that time. But at this time, once you get to that age, you know.
And what if his parents didn't give him a phone? Like,
I
he
think
didn't
his parents
know.
did give him a phone.
But, like, I'm saying, like, what if he was caught on camera in the background singing along and it wasn't his phone that took the video?
So to give context, he recorded himself.
What about another situation of, like, someone else recording him? I'm saying, like...
Okay, there's a thing...
I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. I'll answer that, too. I want to let you guys talk about it.
Big thing here of when, like, a lot of white people go through the stage of when they're young and they aren't educated on the word. They, like, will say it, and then they get older, and as soon as they're educated, they stop, because they're educated on it now. And then a video of them will be brought up from when they were uneducated, and they apologize for it, and usually people accept it.
Right.
Because they're apologizing that they're like, well, and it sucks that white people go through the stage of not being educated on that word, because honestly, like, a lot of us have gone through the stage of not knowing what that word, like, the history of the word, right? A lot of us go through that stage. So if you're educated, then you stop. There's nothing wrong. Like, then you saying it when you weren't educated is still something that you're gonna have to apologize for by saying I was ignorant. Right? That's apology, right? I was ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's why I used the word. Now, if you weren't ignorant and you used the word, then what's the apology?
Right, and how are we supposed to know, like, well, first off, this kid got a scholarship taken immediately, right?
Pretty sure it was immediately. Like,
So,
if not immediately,
but
like the next day.
How do we know if he was ignorant of it or not?
But how he's going
Can we
to
not give him the
college.
benefit of the doubt?
No, not when you're in college like that. But and also if they
He was 17, so he wasn't in college yet.
wasn't he?
He was
He got
7. He was
scholarship.
going to college.
He was going into college.
Right, but he's still 17.
Who
That's
can
5
say,
years he's like maximum been outside of his parents' like direct line of thought. You
But
know what I'm saying?
I cannot imagine that at 17 you don't know anything about the history of that word, and no one has ever told you not to the history. Like I really cannot imagine.
It's a
'Cause-
different world. Like, I mean, you can't say that you knew he was educated on it or that he knew the history of
Okay,
it more
actually,
than as
though-
a term for a friend.
At that point, it is not anyone else's responsibility to educate you on it. If you're 17 years old and you have access to the internet, it is not anyone else's responsibility.
I feel like if you were going to be offended by it and take a stance behind a word, you have to be able to defend that stance. And if you are going to be offended by someone using that word, you have to be willing to educate them on it.
To give a more in-depth opinion on all of the topics or all of the little subtopics we just talked about in this, I personally agree with Anna in the sense of you're 17. Like I'm not gonna play the card of you didn't know, even with me defending him, because there's a side of me that's gonna defend him still, regardless, even with me holding my opinion. But I do agree that one, you're 17. You should know this in 2022 with the age of internet, and
I agree
you
that
know
he
the
should,
word.
but we just can't say that he did.
Yeah, we don't. And then that's another. I'm gonna give that its
I think
own
it's
section as well.
It's his own ignorance of not knowing because he had the opportunity to know.
But how are we going to say he had the opportunity?
He definitely did. It's 2022.
Because if
He
you
100% had the opportunity.
But I know people who are like Jehovah's Witnesses that are homeschooled and they don't know. They would hear that word and they start saying it.
Yeah, that's a completely different person
and
in conversation.
We just don't know.
And
But
we
do
don't
about
know.
this guy. But
And-
the reason the school would have taken away this man's scholarship was because they sat there and they're like, well, if we don't do anything, then it's telling other people that it's okay. So he's honestly being used as, I mean, it
and he's
sucks.
being made an example
It
of.
sucks for him.
Definitely.
But those examples need to be made, or else people are going to think that it's okay. Does it absolutely suck for this guy because like he, slipped up once and said something, and that actually might have hurt a lot of people. A lot of people might have sat there and been like, "Damn, I still have to deal with this.
Mhm.
Like it's 2022, and I still have to see that, be exposed to all these white people using a word like this." So it's you have to. You have to.
It's very annoying.
But
It's
I have a
annoying
question.
because right.
But does it go back to, I get like being annoyed, like why are they using it in the first place? I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you get to someone who is not, it's about intention. They're not out here calling them a bunch of dirty
Have you-
N-words.
have
I do agree, and I'm
They're
gonna
saying,
I'm gonna get to
"Dude,
that
that's
part of the
my-
conversation.
That's my dude. That's my friend. Like it's not. I feel like my dad has never said it in a negative way, and that's why he refuses to not say it anymore. And he has his friends that are backing him up, saying, "Yes, this is fine with me as a black person."
And with that, again, those last two things I'm gonna give it its own attention. But with the conversation of like, should the example be made? I feel like yes, but not in this sense. Because like I say, I'm gonna defend him as well. I don't feel his scholarship should have been taken. That was completely overdoing it, in my opinion.
Yeah, he could have had any kind of other like repercussions, but I mean, they could have made an example out of him in a different way that wouldn't have hurt him so deeply. Yes.
Because at the end of the day, one, like you kind of mentioned, money. Like if they don't do nothing about it, or if they don't go over the extreme, then they're going to be deemed as racist,
Yeah,
even though it
right.
wasn't a racist action. I don't feel, even with part of my opinion being you shouldn't have said it anyway,
No, he shouldn't
it
have
wasn't.
said that.
It was not racist at all.
He should have
No.
avoided the
So-
word like
Yeah,
I
his
do in the
intent.
song.
His intent may not have been racist.
Right.
Right.
But his impact could have been hurtful. That's a difference too, because there's difference. I could intend so many things. I could be like, I could be a bitch to you and be like, well, my intention was that like it's just not good for you, and I know it's not good for you, so I just I intend to just help you. But you could see it as, damn, you fucking hurt my feelings. Like, what if I said your hair's so ugly today, and I think you should fix it because then you're gonna look better. That's like my
But he
intent
would
is
have
to be
gotten the
nice.
same punishment if he went out and said, "You're a dirty N-word."
Oh my gosh.
he would have said, like, he would have gotten the same thing would have happened. He would have gotten his thing taken away. It would have been hate speech. Those are the same criteria that they're taking away for him using it in a non-racist, non-bad intention way.
But he's putting it on the internet, where it's going to reach people that are going to be impacted.
So he's a fucking idiot.
And that's what I
he's
didn't.
guilty
That's
for.
what I didn't
He's
get.
an idiot, and then he should get a repercussion to make so people know that it's not okay to say it. Should he have gotten his scholarship taken away? Probably not.
But you're saying the repercussion should be the same if he's using it with bad intention versus as a term of endearment.
With bad intention, if you said it in the way that you said it, I'd be like,
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't
take
just
that.
go say the N-word.
What?
You just made it sound like I just, like, said
Oh,
it.
no, but like the way that you
No, like the example.
exemplified.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, take away his scholarship. Take it away. Like, I'd be snapping. I'd be happy about it. Like, in this case, I just think that it's a thing that has to be done, not the scholarship being taken away, but him being, penalized in a way.
I think he should have been penalized,
right.
yes.
So, yeah.
But
and I do
maybe...
think that if you are educated at all and you sit there and you know the history of it, even if you grew up saying it, it just respectfully, you could just choose not to.
And that's one of the main things you mentioned with your dad is that he has black friends who are okay with it. While I personally would question those black people just because, like Anna said, all of y'all know the education behind that word and you're still choosing to allow him to say it and then your dad saying it. That's their personal choice. We can't do nothing about another white man with his friends saying something that they all agree with.
But we're holding him to our standards.
And we shouldn't. That's why I'm saying, in my personal opinion, I would have one viewpoint, but I'm not going to look at him differently. I'm not going to show like any sign of hate towards him because one, like you mentioned, is something he grew up with for 40 years.
And it's about intention.
He's not intending to do it wrong.
He's not out here being a racist person.
It could have the wrong impact on someone that heard it. Like, what if he said it and then someone like across the grocery store that just heard it was like sitting there and they're like, I really still have to deal with this. Like, I really still have to hear these people say this.
I get what you're saying, but like across the
It's like a
grocery store,
generational
it's not
trauma,
like
though.
they're hearing him call someone that. It's like
Yeah.
it's like me saying bitch or bitch. There's difference. There's intention. Like bitch, like oh my god, I can't believe we're here. Or bitch. Like
Well,
I'm
maybe
calling you it, or
both,
I'm saying
they're
it.
both wrong, but if you have the intention, it's more wrong.
And
yes,
even
and I'm saying they should have
That's
different
fine.
penalties.
They
And like
should, but
I'm not saying it's
even if he doesn't
completely
intend
excusable
it,
in
he
any
shouldn't say
way,
it.
but some people have reasons for being the way they are, like growing up like that for the past 40 years and never once hearing anyone tell him he shouldn't until he's 42.
Until someone did. And
And
he's
then
still using it after that.
one person told him it was wrong. Everyone else around him is still saying it's fine.
And then once
So why should he believe that one person?
And
Who's,
once you
like gone half the time, me. Like I'm in Jackson. I tell him it's wrong. I leave. All of his friends are like,
Well, because
why?
at least now he has he could go to Google
and once you
and
get to
figure out
the
why it's wrong.
once you get to that point, you realize it's a personal choice. And like Anna mentioned, no matter the intent or
Like I would still never say it. Like let me make that clear. Even in the car alone, I don't say it.
I know you're not. I know like that's.
Even though
yeah,
I would never have
yeah.
a bad intention. I've never even heard someone called it in real life with a bad intention.
Oh, I have.
I would never
You've
say
never grown
it.
up in
I
school.
just understand why certain people do. And then you get to like, what about living in a 100% black community and there's like one kid who's adopted and he's white?
Then maybe that kid will never grow up to hurt somebody's feelings because everyone accepted it from that age. But as soon as it hurts one person's feelings and that person can go and find out why it did, they have the choice to just not say one word because like it's not hard to not say it. So they could choose to just not say that one word because it might hurt people's feelings.
and where it becomes like a ranking system in that even if like you don't mean it to intend and you've been doing this all your life, if you know the impact that it can hold, then in my personal opinion, you should understand that it shouldn't be something a part of you anymore. Because I can defend this kid for the longest because we all agree his scholarship shouldn't have been taken. And we also all agree that intention does matter. It's still very annoying to be a black person in 2022. And I go on TikTok and I see somebody saying the N-word. Or I walk around and I hear people using AAVE, African American Vernacular English, and just using broken English and having situations to where if we use it and it's made fun of, but it's made popular amongst other races, it's very annoying. Because somebody interviewed me for a state news story, and they asked about, like, how long can you go on, like, social media and not see it be used by someone other than black? And me personally, I can't go that long without seeing it. So it's still the impact, knowing the impact they can have and still using it. I personally feel like that's a boundary that shouldn't be crossed.
Doesn't that kind of create intent? I mean, it almost creates intent because you know that it could.
I think it's a different type of intent.
Knowingly is different, but we have to accept the fact that a lot of people, whether like they choose to or they've been indoctrinated like this, are just ignorant. Mm-hmm. They know that it's wrong, but they don't know why. They don't know who, or they don't know when. They just know that it's kind of wrong. Someone told them it's wrong, so they're not going to do it. And then they slip, and then you get to the point where, like, okay, well, did they actually slip, or was this intentional? And they're just like putting on a show because they think it's like they're supposed to be wrong. It's a very loaded thing.
And then you get to the point though where if you are at that age and you don't know why it's wrong, you don't know the history of it, right? Like, you're still ignorant to it. Mm-hmm. You make the choice to either be ignorant or you make the choice to educate yourself. And
it gets to a point where, like I mentioned,
and you should make the choice to educate
overestimating
yourself.
Ignorant people. Because I don't think ignorant people would see that choice.
And the thing, I feel like once someone tells you, hey, don't do that. Like, I want to know. I would search it up. I would figure it out. I just can't imagine, like, if you are ignorant to the choice that you're not going to educate yourself, that means you don't have empathy. You don't have any kind of, like, you don't want to know. Because
if one person told me to stop wearing gray, I don't know that I would look into it much more. I'd be like, really? That was kind of weird. They told me to stop wearing gray. I don't think I would like Google it until like maybe a third, fifth, seventh person said, "Hey, why are you still wearing gray? You look crazy." But there's a certain
point, like when, especially now in today's date, if you're 17 and you've been using that word, you've probably been told at least more than once.
Probably. Like, we just can't say for sure.
Yeah, we can't. But
and I'm saying, like, the penalty, like, it just, that was so much for not knowing everything.
Yeah.
And when you, I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, or you can go first. You sure?
When it comes with AAVE, where do you draw the line between that is a shared culture?
It's a fantastic question. I'm gonna give that. That can be our next topic.
Period or per. Mm-hmm. That's something that started as AAVE but has merged into pop culture. Mm-hmm. So
that's it. So I'm definitely gonna that's gonna be the very next thing we talk about. To conclude, to put a bow on this conversation, it's just a perfect example of what just happened between the gray pants comparison is that it's going to be a personal choice. Yeah. There's no way I can go out and force someone to stop doing something that they don't want to do, and I don't have the power to. I shouldn't, because it's up to that person to understand the impact and then make a decision based after that.
I really liked that. You said, yes. I don't have the power to, and I shouldn't. Go ahead.
Because no one, even as a black person, there's no me going out and telling a white person not to do something. They're gonna look at me crazy because it's their life.
It's still like on a basic level, we're people telling people to do something.
And it's really also like the thing that sucks about that too is like someone. I mean, imagine like what if I just told you like, oh well, it's your job. Like if I told you that it's your job to tell that person why. Do you think it's not your job, right? It's not really your job to go around like telling people things that they should educate themselves on.
It's not my job at all because it's not gonna solve nothing. Because like Shea said, she could be the one person that tells somebody not to do something, but the moment they leave, it's still up to that person to make a choice, choice and a decision. And if they don't, it is what it is. To use the gray pants example, it's one thing to be like, you shouldn't wear gray pants and then to not give context. But if they say, hey, you shouldn't wear those type of pants because the factories they were made in, blah, blah, if you go into a whole spiel and then you get
exactly what I was saying, yeah.
You get an understanding.
Just because someone says that it's bad without saying anything else, I'm not gonna just agree.
But also, if it's personally impacting that person, though,
then they gotta tell me that it's personally impacted them.
They shouldn't have to.
But how would I know?
But search it up. You have the choice to search it up.
But like,
I shouldn't have to tell
you. If you're raised
that's offensive because this and this and this and this. When you have your own material to do it, because it's not my job to tell you that you're wrong.
And it's not enough time in the world to do that.
But if you think that I'm wrong, then you gotta tell me why you think that.
No, I can tell you those gray pants. You should not wear them. And then I can be like, just search it up. You can educate.
Things like these are also very situational because attire is one thing, but when it comes to a situation of race, then again, it's not your responsibility to go Google something. I mean, there's no law or someone pulling at your neck saying, "I told you saying the N-word is wrong. Now you go have to look it up." No, I mean, that's your choice.
I think if you're the person being offended by it, like no matter if we were talking about the N-word or anything else, if you're going to take offense to it and going to take that stand, you have to be ready to defend that stance and willing to share why you're passionate about it.
To use an example,
Like, wouldn't you get so sick of it, of having to educate other people?
If it's something I'm passionate about enough to be offended over regularly, then no.
it gets to a point, and I'm going to use an example in a similar sense, but as a black person, with that last thing y'all just said, it gets to a point like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. Because I can give the context, and they're still not going to care. I can get upset, and they're still not going to care. I can ignore it, and it keeps happening. So it's like, with those two different points, I can agree with one, if you're offended about it, then explain why you're offended. But especially as a black person, it gets tiring. Like, I'm not about to keep explaining to every white person why they shouldn't say the N-word. I feel it should be very self-explanatory. Yeah. Someone else may not feel that way.
And I see both sides of those well.
And with members of part of the LGBTQIA plus community, if they were to ask you, or if this was a conversation around the F slur, and somebody said it, and then they say, if someone as a gay person says that they don't like that, do you still feel the same stance of they should explain why that shouldn't be said, or do you think that's a different situation?
I feel like, yeah, they should explain, because I'm trying to think of how I want to word this. I'm sorry. So
definitely understandable.
The question you're asking is, should people still, if they're going to be offended by it, explain why they're offended?
Yes, in this specific example, because we talked about use of the N-word, and let's we say, like, hey, like, me and Anna have the opinion that we shouldn't have to explain to you why that's wrong.
See, I think it's different, though, because the N-word being used I do consider myself bi. I just don't really want to say it, just in case I push some buttons.
Okay.
I identify as a little bit gay. But if people aren't going around calling each other the F slur for funsies.
It used to happen.
At least I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it used to be very common.
And if I heard that, I would be like, why are you saying that? And if they said, it's because I'm gay, I would be like, oh, okay. And if they said, it's because I hate gay people, I would be like, well, I'm a gay person and I think that's really offensive. You shouldn't say that.
But what if they said, oh, I just call him, like, that it's just a funny word, it's just I call, like, my friend. Like, I just call him,
Then I would explain, like, hey, I'm gay, that word has been used, as a slur, and when I hear that, I think you're being offensive. I would explain it. So I wouldn't expect them to just know.
It all comes down to personal choice, because
I can't imagine someone not knowing.
Yeah.
I feel like I can, because I've seen it. I've seen people use the word and they're like, what do you mean?
And that is a good point. People are just genuinely ignorant, but when it comes down,
so stupid. There's so many stupid
I didn't want to say stupid, but just people are really dumb.
The majority of people are stupid until they're educated, and a majority of the world's population, especially this country's population, are not educated.
And it gets to a point where bringing up common sense is not common. I definitely I had to learn that as years went on. But to transition to the question you asked about AAVE, you asked, if I'm not mistaken, where's the line drawn of it being a part of pop culture and when it being offensive?
Or just sharing cultures, because I feel like there are terms that are used interculturally.
And to answer your question from my perspective, because it's different from every black person, and other black people that was interviewed in that article, they'd have different opinions as well. From my personal opinion, it comes back to the talk of intent. If you're just around people and you hear things said and you find it cool, then it's going to be said. And as long as it's not used to hurt anyone, then I personally don't care. But it does get annoying when that line is drawn to where
then it's mocking.
It's mocking.
Yeah, right, and that's totally different. And I totally agree. Mocking is different than genuinely taking part in it,
but growing
using
up
it
with a separate dialect, because it's AAVE, right? Yeah, that's it's a dialect of a language, because it I don't know if you ever heard about the study done, but it was a school, okay, and I don't know which state it was in, but it was in a southern state, and they decided, because there was their writing and reading literacy was low, and they realized it's because the dialect was so different. Because like if you use like a lot of words, like I
get what you're saying.
So they did a thing where they translated words that are like an AAV meaning to an English meaning, and doing that, they were able to like make, because the federal government does a standard English, you know.
Mm-hmm. This is like it's a dialect of English.
So AAVE is a dialect of English. So
they
used that, and then that got completely shut down, because they didn't want to like accept that AAVE was a dialect, right?
Right.
But it is.
Well,
so
if
you grow up in an area where AAVE is
the common dialect.
The common dialect, then that is completely different, because it's not. I just feel like that's completely different.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I don't think can be compared to.
I don't think we're talking about that anymore.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't think it can be compared to that.
Mm-hmm.
With the intent and the impact.
And I guess yes. Okay. So circling back, I guess that's what I'm saying is my dad's intention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was raised around that.
Yeah.
And that's why he feels justified in saying it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like, it's very interesting to know that, like, there was actual research and time put into, like, looking into the logistics of it. But I think that, like, AAVE is definitely a dialect, almost like Creole is, where it's a mix of English and a second part, whatever that second part is.
Mm-hmm.
The second part, I guess, be culture.
Yeah,
Because
culture,
Creole comes from the French culture in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I think AAVE, it's okay to be used, not okay to be mocked. And
definitely understandable and agree. And the only part that differs is that, especially as a black person and from black people, it's a lot of things that we have did a part of our culture were made fun of, and then were reused and revamped as in different things.
I roll my eyes at a white girl that is talking in AAVE.
And
I roll my eyes at that. Like, even I don't know, like, even if it's not the intent.
Aren't you saying like full AAVE though?
Yeah,
like if bits and pieces.
Yeah, that's
Fulls. Like
yeah.
I feel like.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're walking around and then you talk in that dialect and you're white, I'm just sitting there like I don't like that.
And even with bits and pieces, to be honest, at least from my perspective, bits and pieces still get annoying to a certain degree, because you could walk around and hear like slay or like do the like, and it's like it get old. Like, even if you're not using it in a bad way, just because.
Yeah, I do say period.
It's just period. I feel like period's one of the ones that's just default, but.
Okay.
It's really situational, because like we said, it's okay to be used, not okay to be mocked, yes. But if you hear a white girl saying slay 24/7, and you like literally you can go to class and hear like slay period per, it's just like yeah, they're not doing nothing wrong. It gets old at this point. But I mean, you can't. That's another thing. Even if that's an opinion,
that gets old for everyone.
Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like, it's not just
a language thing. I don't even think it's anything really intentional.
Yeah,
like, no one's like, I want to sound like I'm speaking AAVE.
I mean, language evolves always. So,
right.
I mean, if some of a dialect is evolving into the standard English, like, that's different because it's evolving into it. It's not someone purposely speaking in the dialect to speak in the dialect.
Right.
So, like...
And I don't think almost anyone... There are people who do that.
There are. Absolutely.
Commonly. It's not, like, the norm to put on an accent. It's not the norm to, like, pretend... speak unnaturally. People usually do fall back into their natural paths, but I just feel like it's not really a harmful thing for
but we don't
white
know
people.
We don't know for sure though, because we're white,
right?
So,
I'm saying I don't feel that it's a necessarily harmful thing from my perspective.
From both of our perspectives, it doesn't feel harmful.
Right.
And if any way that it is, I mean,
I would like to know how, but I don't understand how as of right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I wouldn't, but I know I'm smart enough to know that I'm not going to go around, like, putting on an accent, because...
Putting on an accent, yeah, but, like, there are certain things I say, like, that people are like, oh, why do you call him that? Like, my mom had a friend come over, and I told her her tracks were showing. And she was like, what is that? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you call them? Like,
what is that?
That's always what I've known them as, because of who I've been around. Like, extensions.
Oh.
like
Never
when
heard
you
of that.
got them clipped in or like sewn in or like whatever you got them going in, how if you can like see them real bad, you say your tracks are out. Like you can see your tracks are showing. And that's what I've always known. But that's because I've been around people who wear a lot of extensions and wigs and hair add-ons in their life, and that's what they've called them. So
Wait, so what's your opinion on that?
Well, I was actually going to say a perfect example of what Shea was mentioning just happened is that you didn't know that. So let's say I got offended by her saying that and you didn't know that.
I wouldn't think that's offensive.
And it
if
wasn't
was.
offensive.
Okay,
It wasn't
I'm
offensive.
Sorry.
It's just like example you made is that everybody's not going to know we're 19 and we're 19, you're 20, and like she didn't know what tracks were.
Don't like
but
that.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
Why am I older than both of you?
And like Anna said, like, what is that? Like, she had showed visible confusion, and you told her what it was. Like, not everybody's gonna know every little thing about the world. And as far as my opinion on the track stand, I mean, I don't really care. But again, I also, a lot of my opinions are different than others, and I try not to focus on everything that could potentially irritate me, because like I said to the person who wrote the article about AVE, if I was irritated about every white girl that said slay, I'd be irritated every day. If I was irritated by every white person that said the N-word, I would be irritated damn near every day. So it's just pick and choose what you put your mind towards, because it's much more peaceful to be like, you know what, I can only control what I can control. Mm-hmm. I don't have no job to go out and change the world. I'm not a superhero, so people are going to be people.
And you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, so with that being said, one, I want to thank both of you guys for having these type of conversations, because they're not easy. And to anyone who is listening, who will listen to this and get to this point of the episode, these conversations are not easy to have and easy to hear. So one, I thank both of them as two white women and as a black host, still having these conversations and being honest with the views, even if they disagree. But also someone who would listen, to always keep an open mind, because these things are not black and white. Ironically, pun intended, it's between black and white. But these things are not just black and white, and these conversations could go on in different aspects and different paths, because it's not as easy. Sometimes as easy as you're not black, don't say the N-word. I feel it should be, but I'm not the only person in the world. I'm not the only black person, and I'm not the only individual who uses the word. That's just fact. So it gets to a point where we need to have these discussions, even if we disagree, because we need to know every mindset. We need to know why someone would choose to still do something if they know the impact. We need to know why that impact hurts. Like Shea said, we're not going to progress by us as black people saying you guys shouldn't use that word because it hurts us. That's a good start, but it's good to also go into detail. Why does it hurt? What's the history? And if you know, then now you're making a choice. With that being said, we're going to end it on a more lighter note. One of the conversations that we were talking about that didn't get recorded at first before we bring it up now is concerts. I've personally never been to a concert. I would really love to go. It's would be a really good experience in my personal opinion. But if you invite me, listen, we can go out. We can go out. And then even because I'm someone who was in varsity choir, and with that, it allowed me to get a great understanding to just all types of music. So even if I'm not familiar with the band or it's not something I listen to, if they're good, they're good. It really is. And one, to bring a more serious aspect into it of the situation that happened with Travis Scott concert with the people that got injured in it, do you feel that he should have a lot of responsibility? Do you feel that situation? How do you feel about that situation, if it was tragic or not? And then once we get to that, we can end the episode by just explaining what concerts mean to the both of you. And also, just to put this all in one big last question, I'll repeat it if necessary. I know you guys obviously can't see this because it's an audio recording, but their style is phenomenal. Like how they dress, I always try to compliment both of them on how they dress. And I just want to ask, like, where'd they get their style from? Because like you have, is that like a butterfly earring on the left, or like what earring is that? It's a butterfly earring, and then they're twinning right now. Like
I have two different earrings, and that was his point.
And like their style is really unique in my personal opinion. So that'll be the last question, just where they get their inspiration for their style from, and how they get so confident to present themselves, or how they get to a position to present themselves in the way that they do. But to go one at a time, the situation that happened at Travis Scott concert, as a concert goer, as two people who have been to concerts before, how'd that make you feel? If Anna can go first.
Well, okay, so any person has a certain responsibility because it's your concert, your name's on it. So if my name was on something, I feel like I would 100% try and check over everything before. Did they have enough space? Do they have enough security? Do they have enough fencing? Is their fencing safe? I would go over those things. And I would make sure that I hired people, like, if I couldn't all do it myself, I would hire people that would, have that, because my name's on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, now he does hold responsibility.
It ruined his reputation.
Yeah, and it absolutely, like, he holds responsibility because he did not make sure that his fans are who makes him.
I was about to say, not to mention he tweeted out, like, we should riot, or...
a big part of that, more than the initial event.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like, people died. Like, in this guy, you can just tell that he's so, like
unbothered.
He doesn't care. Like, it's his fans that support him in the first place. The only reason this man makes money...
The only reason they were there.
The only reason he was there. Like, it's because of his fans. And then his fans died because he wasn't, like... mindful of, like, the things that could have happened. And, like, crowd crush isn't a new thing. I mean, it's been around.
Right.
So,
that's
like,
one of my points, too.
Right. Crowd crush isn't a new thing. I mean, it's happened on bigger scales, but even on a smaller scale, it's still at least one life, like, lost.
Mm-hmm.
And other, artists will stop the concert if something bad happens, and he didn't. And then even after, and you could, like, see in, like, so many of the videos that he'd seen it happening.
Yeah.
He was aware, and he still chose not to. So, yeah, he holds responsibility.
I agree with pretty much all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he doesn't hold 100% of the responsibility.
Not 100%, but definitely.
But, like, a majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's gone to probably, like, over 300 concerts, like, I go to a lot of music festivals that have a lot of people and a lot of concerts in them. Specifically, I'm thinking of, like, a comparable concert that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, I saw Tyler, the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's only bigger now than he was in 2018, but, like, that was, like, he was as big as he was then, now. And, like, he had hundreds of thousands of people and an outdoor stage. I don't know if you're familiar with Lollapalooza.
I am.
Okay, Grant Park. He was on the biggest stage in the park, and Lollapalooza takes up all of Grant Park. The two biggest stages are in each end.
Mm-hmm.
His crowd was from the first stage to the last one, all watching him. He took up the entire park, hundreds of thousands of people. The biggest crowd Lollapalooza has ever seen were watching him, and I was 15 rows from the front. So I was in about as comparable a crowd that you can get to that Travis Scott situation for hours. I was waiting there. It took a long time to get up to that close to that point, a sea of people. You cannot even imagine how cramped, crushed, crowded, horrible it is in there. The layer of air over the crowd of that size is so thick and musty. People, I remember, were standing, all of us, for hours, we're standing like this because they're physically, I have my hands above my head right now, because there physically was not enough room for all of us to stand with our arms next to each other. Like, we were so cramped that we were pressed like that. And as cramped as that was, still, when Tyler came on stage, everyone moved forward 50 feet. That room came out of nowhere, because as soon as the artist comes on stage, everyone rushes forward as hard and as fast as they can. They don't give a fuck about who's around them. Crush the fuck out of them. They can end up on the floor. I'm getting closer to that artist. And crowd crush. You can look up any concert ever, and you will see that happen. It's how they prepared for it and handled it once it did happen. That's where everything fell apart at Astroworld, because that was predictable. They could have put precautions against that, like more major large-scale music festivals like Lollapalooza and Coachella do. And this was his music festival under his rules. He didn't follow those precautions. And he, with that same mindset, this is my festival, these are my rules, it's named after me, we'll end it when I say it. So there were people telling him to end the show long before he did. And this is where, like, I mean, after that initial rush, all of the responsibility is on him. The crowd did what a crowd is going to do. The crowd acted in a predictable behavior. Anyone could have said that was going to happen. Everything else after that point is on Travis Scott.
Definitely understandable, and I pretty much agree with everything you guys said. He could have handled the situation better, but he doesn't have all the responsibility. But he has a good majority of it because, like you said, it's his platform, and he understands how concerts work. This wasn't his first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh concert that he did. He's a very experienced artist, and he's a very popular artist who embraces mosh pit culture.
Right.
So
specifically, he was telling people to jump the fence.
Exactly.
Like, he was telling people to get in there, and then the security obviously.
And that's like a whole different thing, because like at that Tyler concert, we were moshing. That was like, if someone would have got trampled down there, the same thing would have happened at Astroworld that happened to Astroworld, would have happened to Tyler, the Creator. It would have been physically impossible for any security guard to get there in time to save anyone, let alone part the crowds and just pray hundreds of thousands of people listen to him. That was a poor setup too. But like, it's the point that people were on like the speaker saying stop the concert. There's recording of him saying people are dying, and then after the fact him saying we'll keep moshing. Don't listen to them, they're trying to shut us down, let's keep going. Like, the gravity of the situation was completely on his shoulders and nobody else's at that point.
And it was a very careless act. And it sucks because in theory, he was just doing his job. He was just trying to be an entertainer, but you have to keep that balance in mind that people's lives are still, they're here for you. And now it's a situation where you kind of had blood on your hands because you embraced something that led to people's deaths. And it's very unfortunate, and I hope, even when his apology, because his apology didn't seem that thought out, but I do hope in some form he grows to a point where this can never even be thought of happening again, because he's going to continue to make music. He's barely released any of his own, but he's been on features. He was just featured on an album from a producer by the name Metro Boomin. I don't know if you're familiar. And he had some verses on there, and you can see he's slowly trying to get back into releasing music again, but it's never going to feel right if you don't genuinely take the acknowledgement of attempting to be better. And to finally get on a more positive note, because we've had a lot of conversations and a lot of great conversations that I'm really grateful for having. That's how I'm going to give you guys your flowers when I finally stop talking. But
you talk the least. I think you're good.
For real, you can go ahead and keep going.
It makes me really happy that I talk the least in a podcast episode for my guest.
About you next? Can we take the charge?
That's what my solo episodes are for. But when you guys create a podcast, because I really think y'all should also make one. That was one of the first conversations we had. Then I
think people would like to hear me talk. I'm convinced most people who hear this are gonna be like, that Shea girl. God, don't ever have her come back.
And I would defend you to the ends of the earth, because you came on my platform and gave me your time. You both gave me 3 hours of your time that y'all did not have to do. And yes, it's been 3 hours. And
Okay.
I'm not mad at it at all. I really appreciate y'all. And to continue with the concert conversation before I ended by giving you guys more praise, what do going to concerts and getting that experience mean to you? And what is your favorite concert? What's your favorite artist? If you can go first, Anna.
So I've only been to 2 concerts so far, and they were
Really?
very big. It was Taylor Swift and Shawn Mendes, because this was when I was young and my mom thought these are who I wanted to see for Christmas, which Taylor Swift I wasn't really good. I was a huge fan when I was a kid. So. But Shawn Mendes I don't really care about, but I was like, oh yeah, he's cute one time, and she was like, okay, I got you concert tickets for your birthday, you're welcome. But I love going to concerts because I kind of like to get dressed up for I just like doing any kind of event that I can get dressed up for, take cute pictures at, and then have a good time while I'm in the area. Like,
all of them. Check all the boxes.
Yeah, like if you can check all the boxes, like that's pretty cool. And then also like music that you hear over the radio and then you hear them in real life is kind of like, oh, it's new, it's interesting. Like it feels like a different experience. And like you're sharing it with a bunch of people, which kind of creates like a little bit of a community, which is kind of cool. So I like that, and like I've always wanted to be someone that goes to like concerts, like a bunch of concerts, and I just don't. I don't know, it might be the anxiety thing, but I just don't go to concerts very often. But we're going to NoahCon. Yeah, we're going to NoahCon in February, and I think that one will be really, really fun because he's like an artist that I actually like really like, and it's like it's a smaller. No, I knew him from Stick Season first.
Okay, well,
and
we
Jaden
listened like the whole album in my car.
Yeah, that's true. But and then like he's like a newer artist, so like it's gonna be like probably a little bit smaller, and we're gonna be on the floor. So I'm kind of excited because it'll be my first time being on the floor of a concert. And I just think they're fun, positive experiences. And I think that whatever happens there, you're going to look back on it and be like, that was pretty fucking cool.
I think that music is a really big connector of people. Like I think it's really beautiful when, I don't know, on like a more basic level, like I think it's disgusting that we pay so much for it.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's ridiculous.
because it's just exploited to a whole different level, human talent. But I think it's beautiful seeing talent of people and people gathering to praise and enjoy that talent together. And it's so enjoyable. I think music it has a psychological effect on you. It does, 100% proven. But it does something to your brain. It makes you happy. And I really am a person who could not imagine life without music. I've had people ask, like, would you rather be deaf or blind? And that's really hard for me because my first thought is I always cannot imagine a life without music. I cannot. But for me, concerts started, I'm from Jackson, and the Jackson County Fair always has concerts every year. It started with Hannah Montana, and then That's So Raven Simone.
Legends.
Dude, it was so cool. And I remember them really well. I was like 4, 5, 6, 7 when I saw Hannah Montana, Raven Simone, and then Vanessa Hudgens, all at the Jackson County Fair.
What?
And I have pictures.
Jackson County
I have
Fair?
pictures to prove it all.
How did Jackson do that?
That's a hell of a lineup.
Dude, well, it was year after year. So, like,
Oh, okay.
it was Miley Cyrus at first, and she was like 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was a kid in a blonde wig lip syncing, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And Raven Simone, it was also very weird. She wore giant sunglasses the whole time and was only on stage for probably like 30 minutes. And then Vanessa Hudgens, I waited outside the gate and chanted for her, and she came out and took pictures and signed autographs. It was very cute, and I was like a child. But that kind of like sparked my love for it because I went to go with all my friends to the fair, and we went and rode rides, ate candy, and then went and saw some freaking Disney stars on TV that we see on TV and sang their songs like feet from the stage. It was so cool. I was a little kid, like I was 5 because I had a cast on my wrist, and I was like so little, like having the time of my life. And the concert ended, and it was like I was bounced back to a whole different world. I was like, wait, where are we? What are we doing? And ever since then, I've just always enjoyed concerts. I went to Lollapalooza for the first time when I was 15, or 15, 16, if I was 15 because I couldn't drive yet. And my parents trusted me to go to a different state for a 4-day music festival with 2 of my teenage friends. When they were 17 and 18, I was 15. I couldn't even drive, and they were like, yeah, have fun. And so that was really like the point between me being a kid and me being my own person and really getting into concerts, because Lala kicked it off. I was like, oh my god, we were here for 4 days and we seriously just saw like 200 different artists for like $400. And like when you break it down, that's a really good deal. Right. And I was seeing like big people, like I saw Brockhampton, I saw Post Malone, Tyler the Creator. Who did I see on my first year? And on my first year, I only went for 1 day. I saw so many people. I only went for 1 day on Lollapalooza in 2018. And then 2019 and then 22, I went back for all 4 days. Because it's addictive. You walk around enjoying music with people who are there to enjoy music and dance and feel it. And I think it's just beautiful. It's really fun to be a part of. And it's just very beautiful. My favorite concert ever, if not Tyler the Creator, because it was just the energy is like uncomparable to any other concert with that many people, would be probably Declan McKenna, if any of you guys know who he is, or Brockhampton, both of which I saw 3 different times because I love them so much that I was like, I'm going to double up. I saw Brockhampton twice in Illinois and once in Michigan, and then I saw Declan McKenna 3 times in Michigan. And all of them were pretty small shows, and I got to like actually interact with the artists, which was a really big deal for me because when they know I exist, that kind of adds a whole different plane.
Whole different layer.
It's a whole different level. And like I gave a bouquet of flowers to Brockhampton, and I gave a ring to Declan McKenna, and both of them on social media afterwards like had featured that. They had the ring on or the bouquet of flowers in the background, and I was like, oh my god, that's me. I made an impact on these people's lives when their music and art has made such an impact on mine.
Yeah.
So that was just like a very it's huge. And now like Brockhampton's got like 7 albums out, and Declan McKenna's fucking huge, and I met these people when they were at tiny little venues like in Grand Rapids and Detroit, and like I've watched them grow and flourish, and I've seen them 3 times now, and they know I exist in one way or another. It's just a whole different, it's like your idols acknowledging you, you know?
And those are experiences I would love to have. It's one of the main reasons why I say, like, I want to get out of Michigan, because I've barely traveled at all. Like, my parents claim I've traveled, but I don't have no memory of it. So just getting those experiences of being young and going to see your favorite artist, or getting out of state and having these experiences, or even being in the state that you're from and seeing these artists, they're life-changing moments. And to hear that, like, these are the impacts that those type of events can have, it's like, can't wait to experience something like that.
And I do think it is, like, that's a good way to put it, life-changing.
Yeah.
It kind of goes into, like, your next question, if you want to ask it.
It's something that I definitely will remember forever. Like you know how, like, I was really young when I seen Taylor Swift, but I 100% remember that concert.
Right.
And I don't remember a lot from when I was that young. So.
And it just shows the impact that can have on a person's life.
Exactly.
And
I do think that, like, my purpose here on this earth, like, kind of circling back to the religion thing, is to see, do, hear, experience as much as I can. I think I check a lot of those boxes by going to concerts. Like, the whole planning of it, like, going somewhere and experiencing that, it's an experience in and of itself, like, that I think people should at least go through once.
Yeah. You gotta try it.
I definitely plan on trying it.
Listening to Noah Khan. I mean, I really feel like he's not your style. I have a very diverse taste of music. He's pretty far from almost everything.
He loves Vermont.
He does, like Ohio too. But
Hey, I'd definitely be interested in giving it a chance.
it's more like, it's like an indie folk,
Yeah.
which
There's-
is, I don't really like any other folk music. It's just Noah Khan. He really hits the spot.
It's very hard to get me to not like something. And even if I wouldn't listen to it regularly, it's still an appreciation I always can find for it. So I'm definitely open to hearing him because I've never heard of who he was. So make sure you send me some of his
Are
music.
you from Michigan?
I am from Detroit.
All right, so you've always been in the Midwest.
Yeah.
So you will resonate with his music because it's all about
Right.
being in the Midwest.
It sounds a little weird, but it also kind of hits super hard. Like, when I first heard a song, I was like,
Yeah, it does hit like,
and then I was like,
kind of like
kind of good though.
community style things.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask your last question.
It sounds pretty fire. Make sure y'all definitely send me some once we stop recording. But final question before I give them their praises one more time for being on my show. Like I mentioned, I really enjoy their sense of style when they dress. And where does it come from both of you? Was it just random one day? Did you see someone who dressed a certain way and emulated that and made it your own? What is the story behind both of you guys' fashion? If Shea can go first and Anna can end us off.
I just want to say I really enjoy your fashion as well.
Yeah,
and I
I
want
was
you
gonna
to
say,
know
like,
that you
you got
have
the fit on
quite
right
the
now.
impact, because some days when I'm getting around to go to class, I'm like, oh, it's just year 200. I love this class. I don't really want to be later than I already always am. So let me just like throw something on. And then I think, wait, Anthony kind of notices my outfit sometimes. I kind of want to live up to that. I want to like actually look cool if someone does notice, because I always do, like, I do it for myself. I do, like, back to like the core question, I do it because, and this is something I'm also still growing into. I was just talking about to Anna about this, about like wanting to dress that fits more my body, not my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I want the way I dress to be a reflection of my mind, and
Yeah.
clothes to decorate my body, not to sit on top of them. Like, I want clothes to complement me and be an extension of my personality more than they are something to cover the unfavorable parts of myself. And I think I've still got a lot to go, but especially in the past like 2 years, my style has changed a lot, especially being on my own, away from my parents, away from my hometown, away from a lot of judgmental minds. Being at university is a new town, a new college. There's like a million people here who I will see today and not ever again. And even if I did see them again, they wouldn't recognize me. I can wear whatever I want. And a lot of people are dressed crazy and more out there than me. And I think they look cool. And I'm like, I wish I had like the self-confidence to present myself that way, but I have issues with being perceived, so I don't. And that's something I'm aware of, so obviously I'm working on it. This first step is acknowledgement. But like, I dress this way for myself, and I'm still not there yet. Because if I were fully dressing for myself, I think my style would still be much different than it is now. But in general, I like to wear things that make me happy. And if they make me happy because of what they are, how they make me look, win-win. What I'm wearing now is definitely makes me happy because of what it is, not how it makes me look. It's like a frumpy sweater, yoga pants. But I love it when pants don't touch the bottom half of my leg. I feel so constricted if it's tight from like the knee down. And once I made that realization, oh my God, I haven't worn skinny jeans in so long. Like, unless it's for work or for like a specific thing, like filming something, I don't like to be constricted. So I'm more loose clothes type of person. And then for women, I guess it's a little different. Like when it comes to like wearing bras and wearing nipple, like things to cover your nipples or like cover them showing. I don't like to. I like to kind of feel, I like my clothes to feel like I'm not wearing anything. I like to like barely be able to feel them. Like what I'm wearing now, I just like because of what it is and not how it makes me feel. I like these pants because they're loose. I like my velvet shoes because they're velvet and I like the color maroon. And then my sweater is also velvet. I like the feeling of it. And
your hair ties matches your shirt.
My hair tie is also velvet and it's also blue like my sweater. So I like the textures. I like the way it's sitting on me more than it's making me look, because that's the part that's making me happy.
That's great to hear. And as someone who's obsessed with matching clothes, the fact that the blue matches your sweater,
obsessed with matching.
It's it's perfect.
I had a medium one time say, "Are you obsessed with like matching? Like you can't leave without your socks matching?" Correct. I cannot leave in mismatching socks. I will have a panic attack and be late before I leave with different socks on.
And it's like, even with that, part of both of y'all style is that y'all wouldn't wear just one color. You all would find a way to wear multiple colors and still make it work and look good on y'all. And Anna, before we end it off here, I want to get your thoughts on just your style and where does it come from and why do you wear the things you wear?
My style is 100% the reflection of how I'm feeling that morning. Because if I'm wearing jeans, like, this is kind of funny, but if I'm wearing jeans, it means that I'm like, that I'm not doing that much that day, but what I am doing is more, like, important, I want to say. So, like,
formal.
Yeah, like, I guess formal. And then if I wake up late, I will always wear sweatpants or leggings, and that's it. But, like, the whole style thing, like, I literally, my style is so random. I wear, like, anything if I like the way it looks. So I don't fit into like any kind of like, you know, like there's aesthetics. Don't fit into a single one of them, because I would do like a, you know, like I want to wear, oh my gosh, what I really want to do though, I want to be able to wear, I want to get fishnets, like a bunch of freaking fishnets, and I want to wear these boots and fishnets and a skirt, and because I kind of like really like overly feminine things. I really like to express femininity like through my clothes. I don't know what it is. Like I do my hair and my makeup are also a part of my style, because I
agree to that.
Love
hardcore
doing my makeup. Like today I did
Underrated.
like white eyeliner because I was wearing white boot or like cream boots and a cream coat, so I was like, you know what, I feel like white underliner would be kind of fun instead of my silver, because when I'm doing silver I'll wear something that's like a little more colorful. I don't know, it's like strange. I have a strange way of doing it.
It's a really good point, is that like, for at least for me and obviously for you, so I can speak for us, but I don't know about the other women out there, I feel like my hair and makeup is a huge extension of my style. And I use my hair as an accessory more than anything.
Oh yeah. I love to do things, like certain things with my hair, like that would go, it's just so strange. Like if I'm wearing something certain, I'm doing my hair a certain way to go with it. Because I won't wear my hair, like especially leggings, almost always. This is so weird, but I just noticed it. I wear leggings all the time when I braid my hair the night before and take it out, so it's like frizzy, because it's
it
like
just suits a certain style.
Because it's not lazy, like it's not super lazy because I actually did something to it, but it's not super styled. And this outfit's not super lazy because I like
it's a reflection of that.
Yeah. So that's like it's kind of wild. That's how my style goes. I just like there's different things that impact it every single day. And my makeup, I'll do more makeup if I'm wearing like a cooler outfit. It's kind of wild actually. And then piercings, and we were going to talk about this a little bit, but I want to talk about mine at
Body
least.
modification.
My piercings are like, if I had money, like a lot of money, I would buy so many earrings and necklaces and bracelets and like just jewelry in general. And I love having a bunch of piercings, and I love having them all filled, because if they're not all filled, I get kind of upset about it. Like if I have holes that are like open in my ear, I'm like, I need to put something there. And if I could have like different ones, like I want to, I don't know, like it's just like, it's definitely a part of my style too.
I forgot about that. I should have mentioned that. And it kind of sounds hypocritical for what I'm about to say, but like, kind of like the socks thing, like I won't leave if my socks aren't matching. I will turn around. I'll be at my destination. I will go back home if I didn't put a ring on. It's like more than
I have rings too, but I only wear them. I only dress up my fingers when my nails are done. So I will only wear rings when my nails are done.
But for me, it's more like a like, you know, babies carry around a blanket or have a pacifier. My comfort item is my rings. When I'm anxious, I'm squeezing my fingers together so I can feel the pressure of my ring hitting the other fingers. When I'm freaking out and I need something to twiddle, like instead of biting my nails, I'm playing with my rings.
I know my nails are so messed up.
I have this problem a lot. I like to put my rings on my knuckle and then bend my knuckle so I can feel the pressure on my ring. I've broken a lot of rings. I just broke this one like 5 minutes ago because I do that and I just snap them. But like, it's like almost an anxiety comfort thing. I cannot leave without my rings. But I also love the way it looks of wearing like, I have like 7 rings on right now. Like, I love rings.
Yeah. And it creates the perfect vibe with each of you, just because, like you mentioned, with I don't do certain things unless this is done, and it all creates the mood and how you're going to be that day. And it is a true showcase of who y'all are, because it means a lot to me when y'all say, like, my outfits are good, because I'm not the most confident person. And it's like every time I put an outfit on, I always try to look in the mirror and not leave until, like, I feel like I look good.
And
sometimes
coordination and good style is so underrated.
Yeah. And with
the fit right now,
it's very like so coordinated. Like the colors are great, and one of my biggest pet peeves is when people wear like dramatically different blacks together, but like all the black is the same shade and it works perfectly and it flows and yes.
And I really appreciate that, because one, all of that is intentional, but two, just a little secret for the outfit I wore today. So, because I was in my girlfriend's dorm and I had packed these clothes yesterday, but I forgot to get black socks, and I was really annoyed that I have on white socks with black shoes. But then I realized there's white stripes in the sweater, so I'm like, you know what? It unintentionally matches.
That's how your train of thought went, because that was mine. I was like, I wonder why he put white socks on, and then I was like, wait, he's got white in his sweater. That makes sense.
It's like
that's so funny that you had the same exact train of thought.
It's like I almost went crazy, but I calmed myself down by realizing that there was white in the sweater, so like it matches anyway.
Yes.
It's like, you know what? Because I had a presentation this morning, and I was literally about to be late to go get black socks, but I'm like, you know what?
It almost like ties it together.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like it.
So
I think the black socks would have been.
It puts more attention on your pants and shoes, when otherwise I feel like all of the attention would have been on the sweater.
Yep. Yes, and it made sure it flowed properly. So just when y'all say like certain things, what'd you say?
I said, let's start a fashion blog.
It's like, that would be amazing. Just a whole separate content of just about fashion. But just so when you both say like certain things go together, it's like they're supposed to go together. Like I wore this necklace for a specific reason. I have the sweater on. I had a presentation and I wanted to show.
I'm so mindful of you. I feel like most people are not like that.
Yeah.
With the outfit and the presentation thing?
Yeah.
And
I feel like you can tell by looking at most people that they're not very mindful about like what they wear. And that's their choice. Like some people's style is like chaotic comfy, like going to class in pajama pants. I love that. I love that for you.
I would do that on a reflection of a day that I felt like really, really tired. I would wear sweatpants, or not sweatpants, but like pajama pants, because it's just a reflection of how I'm feeling. So.
Right. And I feel like I understand that. Like even if I can't practically relate to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't actually do that, but I understand it. I get it.
Yeah.
Same here. And it's crazy you mentioned that it's important that I think like that for moments when I'm doing a presentation, because when it was for my science lab and there was only like one other person dressed up. And part of me, especially since I'm not the most confident person, I'm like, dang, I overdressed. I did too much. But I came to the realization and I was okay with feeling like I hold myself to a certain standard, because I feel like this is a very important thing for me I'm doing, and I wanted that to reflect. I wanted even the assignment I'm doing that's how obsessed I am with matching. I wanted whatever I'm doing in that moment to match how I'm looking.
Do that too.
So it's like I'm doing a presentation, this is why I dressed up like this. I would dress like this anyway, but now I'm gonna make sure I dress like this because I'm doing something. I want everything to the T to go as perfect as I can humanly control, even when it comes down to the outfit.
It is a control thing.
I was about to say, it might be
one of the ways that we think about fashion is a control thing, because if we can control anything, we can control that I'm gonna look good.
Right.
Yeah.
Take controlling what you can.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that. I do also dress to reflect what I'm doing. Like,
yeah, me too.
Presentation wise.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even realize it yesterday until afterward. Like I had an idea for a presentation of mine and I dressed to reflect it. Like, I dressed like a kindergarten teacher yesterday. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But it was a cute outfit.
And it's like, it just makes you go into it like, okay, I know that everything is reflecting how I wanted to, and then now it's up to the assignment or the grader. But
to do the rest, yeah.
Yep.
With all of that being said, I want to make sure that this last moment of the podcast will be definitely telling you thank you, both of you guys, thank you again, because like I mentioned,
Yeah, it was fun.
Honestly, this was very fun. I don't get to have conversations like this as often as I would like.
Same.
And it's the reason why I wanted both of you on here, because we could have went on. We're going on 3.5 hours, and we could go on.
So dead ass right now.
It literally, the clock is going
so
from
serious?
3:27, and I'm gonna try and purposely talk a little bit so we can get to 3:30. But it's just.
And he paused it a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's
We
one.
had phone calls.
That's another edit. That's another editing secret. We've had go to the bathroom. We've had phone calls. I had to text my girlfriend back, and she texted me like an hour ago, like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "Still recording." But it's just we did all this, and
It's a good conversation. It's a good problem to have.
and it's like I really want to do this. This is something I want to do as a job. That's another reason why I felt so bad when we didn't get this episode recorded earlier, because I want this to be something that I can do for the rest of my life as a journalist. So having these conversations, going for 3 hours, 4 hours, it makes me really happy to be able to do this and to have people who would want to do this, because it helps me believe that I'm good at this, because people have.
You definitely are. You
People-
should keep pursuing it. Keep doing it.
I mean,
you
look
found
at
your
the
calling.
answers that your questions like
Produce.
Yeah.
And that is what's the magical part of this, is that you, like Shea said, you don't get the opportunity to share these thoughts with everybody. You don't get a chance to
We
talk
said
about
that
these certain
as soon as
things.
you walked out.
What?
You walked out the room. I was like, this is all stuff I say in my head all the time. I'm so glad I can have someone to say it to.
And it's like, with me, one of the reasons why I started a podcast is because, like, I don't have the opportunity to get these thoughts out. I'll be in the shower talking to myself and then be like, I wish these thoughts could be out loud or just somewhere. And I want to.
Exactly what I said.
I want, with anything I do in life, I want to help people, and I want to give a voice for the voiceless. And it's not fair that everybody doesn't have opportunity to get these thoughts out, because we have people in positions that say the dumbest things, and they get used for entertainment every day. So I always love to give people opportunity to speak their voice, and I'm going to continue to always do these interviews more and give people this platform to talk about themselves, because like they joked about, I talked the least in this episode, and it puts a smile on my face because I'm seeing two close people have an interaction and have conversations, and even when they disagree, still end up smiling, still end up getting to an understanding, because that's one of the main reasons. I used to be someone that used to love debating, and now I really hate debating because people don't know how to respectfully disagree, and a lot of my personal trauma comes from seeing arguments. So it's really refreshing, and it's really shows a sign of relief to see people have conversations, and even when they disagree, still end up smiling with each other. So that's all the content I have for this episode. I do want to ask both of you, do y'all want to plug anything, like your social medias at all, or anything of the sorts?
Everything of mine is private because
Yeah.
of journalism.
Understandable.
So
I think instead of that, maybe just take this opportunity, if you're listening right now, to share this podcast with everyone you know. Get it out there. He's doing some pretty amazing stuff, and the world should see it as he wants. So instead of plugging me, I'm gonna plug you. Everybody,
Yeah, right.
Go hype him up, hype his accounts up, hype his podcast. Get it out there. Do what you can instead of doing it for me.
this is a male podcast that isn't misogynistic, so like have that in mind.
It's doing the most, yeah.
I really appreciate
In the
that.
best way.
It means so much to me. And like you mentioned, because a lot of male podcasts are stigmatized because they're
I
assholes.
don't listen to a single male podcaster.
So to have you guys on my platform and
Oh,
to
I do now. That's not what I meant. You know
no,
what I meant.
no, I really appreciate that,
Excluding you.
because they said not including me, but just to have you on the platform and to be a voice that isn't the norm of bashing people and bashing women. I always want this to be a loving atmosphere, and I really love this experience. And usually I was gonna try and wait and post the interviews I've done, because this is the third interview I've done, and I've really waited to post them because there's a specific person. His name is Brian. If he ever listens to this and gets this far, he's one of the main people who told me, like, you should start doing this. You should start doing this podcast. And I really wanted him to be the first episode, but it's so hard because he's not here. And like with the app I'm with it, because it's through Anchor and then to Spotify, you got to like connect them a certain way. And I just haven't had time as a college student.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to get especially this episode out there, because I feel that this is my favorite interview I've done, because we literally have had so much to talk about, and there's so, like, when we took the turn about religion, like, that wasn't expected. I didn't have that in my notes. It just flowed so perfectly, and I thought of questions to ask to keep the conversation going because I wanted y'all thoughts.
And I feel like they were really productive conversations. Like, even though I felt pretty confident on my stands for all of these things, I do feel like I've learned a lot.
I feel like I've learned things too.
Same here. And with that being said, I really appreciate anyone who listened this far. I really appreciate anyone who listened even a minute of my podcast. It means the world to me. And I want to thank Anna and Shea again for being here. And I'm signing off. Bye, guys.